Hey YouTube, Unknown Gamer here, and as you see, we're getting ready for this game against Colorado. As we came off probably best game of this season, by far this season for Arizona. As I'll switch to right now to show you guys, against Baylor, 49-7, most convincing win of the season so far. And as you see, we shut them down until 23 seconds left. It was my bad. I made a bad pass using Derek Reynolds. Because he did do pretty good in that game. You see, he did pretty good rushing too. Kept 2 yards ahead of Kadeem Carey. But the biggest story was the defense. Even bigger story, the picks. One of them being Albert Smith, his first pick of his career. And then one more pick by Jonathan McKnight. Some reason I thought he had 2, but he only had 1. But as you do see, we have Colorado, and then we have Washington, Washington State, USC, UCLA, Oregon, Utah, Arizona State. So in the span of, in week 10, 11, and 12, we play 2 top 5 teams. And hopefully we'll be a top 5 team by then too. But a lot of that depends on how we do today. As long as we win today, I don't see a problem with us getting up there, and we should be able to beat Buffalo. No offense to Buffalo, it's just that they're on a losing streak. But also we can't underestimate them, because we did the same thing to Oregon last year, and that ruined our national title hopes. That Oregon, if we would have won that Oregon game, we probably would have gone to the national championship. Now, would we have won it? I don't know. That's something we can't really answer unless we were in that situation. But yeah, it was. We had so many. I'm sorry. We had so many chances to win that game. Anu just ended up at the end. He made. One of them was my bad, the other 2 were kind of iffy. But you do see, I've been complaining about this defense a lot. But actually, we are 11th in points allowed, and we're 2nd for points scored. So yeah, but we're the 7th best rushing team, and we're the best rush defense team. But we're not the world's best against pass. But we do have 2 wide receivers visiting this week. So that tells you a lot about what we're looking at this week. This week we're looking at 2 possible commits after this, because, well, both those guys are really close to committing. They both really seem to like this university, because I hardly put points on either one of them, and they're a 79 overall and a 74 overall. I've hardly put points on them, yet they're both over 50%. Of course they're both over 50%, or else I wouldn't be able to have them visiting. But we're first place by a long shot when we've hardly put points on them. So this visit should almost put it in the books. And right here, this is just, and also we have an amazing team passing and everything this year, so we should have a good visit. And right here, and Derek Reynolds breaks a tackle, and Derek Reynolds, first play of the game, breaks it, and he steps out of bounds. Oh, that was so glitchy towards the end. Breaks that one tackle, and Kadeem Carey gets a key block, and it was off to the races. And as you see, Bailey steps out of bounds as Colorado's free safety had trouble wrapping up our quarterback on the first play of the game. So far, it's been an amazing game here, and hopefully we can keep this up. They don't guard Richards that well, and we try and fit it into a tight gap, and that was almost picked. And right here, as we get the first down, on 3rd down, we get past the line of scrimmage. And right here, we're looking to get that touchdown. We're looking for those 250 yards passing. That's kind of on our minds, but that's not the main thing. And right here, they leave James Bailey open, and we get James Bailey for the 16-yard reception, as he had a career day against Baylor. We're hoping that he can continue that success today. But they want to take a look at this, and that's clearly a catch. I mean, he almost had 2 feet in. If he would have had to have had 2 feet in, he would have. And they say it stands, and I agree 100% with that. And right here, Kadeem Carey only has 5 yards on the day so far, and normally in the first drive he gets like 50 or something. Instead he's sitting here with 5. But Derek Reynolds, he's in here with 40 or 50, 49 yards. Who that says a lot about. That tells you a lot about how Derek Reynolds plays. Derek Reynolds plays. Try saying that 6 times fast. But yeah, and Kadeem Carey gets a touchdown on the second touch of the day. And yeah, that tells you a lot about, like I've said earlier, that tells you how he plays and everything. He plays amazing. Both of our quarterback and our running back are amazingly fast and talented on the ground. And also, for a running back, Kadeem Carey's very good at throwing the ball for a running back. I'm going to save that Wildcat for USC, Oregon, Washington, conference championship game, national championship game, those types of games. That's where you'll see those trick plays come out. Right here, it's looking really bad for Colorado early on, as they still have 2 screen plays. They have 2 complete passes. They've thrown the ball 3 times. 2 of them have been complete. Both of those are screens, and they both went for negative yards, being -2 and -4 yards, and a total of -6 yards passing today. That normally we do a terrible job pass defense, but today screens, you're not gonna get big yards on screens with us, against us, or with us. We don't do a lot of those screen plays for big yards either. But yeah, so far this game's looking amazing for us. And hopefully it stays that way, because we're going to hand the ball off to Kadeem Carey, and I hope he gets the corner. Because if he can get that corner, and yes, he does, Kadeem Carey to the corner, and he's off. Kadeem Carey, touchdown. As in the first 2 possessions, we have 98 yards rushing. And Kadeem Carey, that's his 3rd touch of the game, and he already has 2 touchdowns on 3 carries. And right there, he did an amazing job on that one right there. And man, I hope he can keep playing like that. Because if he plays like that for all throughout the Pac-12, we'll go undefeated and we'll be in that national championship game. Right here, I don't know what happened, but we just faced one of the best running backs we've played all season long. As he has 25 yards for 4 rushes, and it's a 6 yard per carry average. And yeah, that gets some 3 points, and now it's 14-3, and it's looking like a lot better game than it was about a minute or 2 ago. Especially after that drive that they just had, as I thought they were going to get a touchdown just running the ball on us. Right here, this run right here sets us up for hopefully an easy touchdown here, as Kadeem Carey has carried this offense on this drive. He's done an amazing job. He's gotten all the yards on this drive, including the one pass that we threw. He got that one and went 24 yards with it. You think they would start targeting him, but nope. They don't care. Their idea is let him run all day on us. We'll sit back in coverage. And trust me, Kadeem Carey is loving it. He's loving them sitting back in coverage because he's torching them every single play. Actually, I will show you right now his stats so far in the game, because I think it has to be near 100 yards. He's staying close to 100 yards rushing. Yeah, Kadeem Carey has 102 yards rushing in the first half. Almost in the first quarter. 30 seconds away from all those 100 yards being in the first quarter. If he keeps playing like he is now, he could have a 400-yard game today, and that would be awesome. That would be awesome to have a 400-yard performance. To open up Big 12 play, you know how how much of a tone that would set for the rest of the season. Like, no team would sit back in coverage against us. We'd have blitz almost every single play. Right here, Babish gets the pick. Babish, I've been talking so much smack to him this year for being so slow and so bad at coverage. But right here, he keeps up with him, and he gets his first pick of the season. And now in 2 games, we have 3 picks, and that is the best pick record we've had in a 2-game stretch in this whole series. We've been lucky if we've had back-to-back games with a pick in this series. And here we are in not only back-to-back games with a pick, but we're looking at in 2 games having 3 picks. That's just a big accomplishment for this team. For most teams, that's not a humongous accomplishment, but for this team it is. And it's not like it's just one guy making all these picks. It's a collective effort, because in all 3 of those picks have been somebody different. And right here, Kadeem Carey makes it 112 yards in the first half. This is his season high for rushing yards. Right now, I think he's within 20 yards of his career high in a game. And he had an amazing season last year. He could have gone pro on the season he had last year and been a top 10 pick. Instead, he comes back and he just shows Colorado why he was considered such a threat. And he's prepared to show the whole Pac-12 why he was considered an amazing player last year and why he won the Heisman. And you can tell he's not exactly happy he's not in the talk for a Heisman this year. As I think he has 3 of our 4, he has 3 touchdowns so far today. And we're in the first half still. And the ball comes loose. And we get him in the backfield for a 6-yard loss, but that's 10 yards backwards. He lost the ball after 6 yards, but a total of 10 yards lost on the first play of this drive. And man, it cannot get any worse for Colorado. When it rains, it pours. Yeah, and we're playing so much better at this right now in this year's. We've actually become a lot more sure-handed. Everything that could be better has become better, except for that right there. Bad pass by me leads to a pick in the end zone. Why did I throw that? I could have ran that one and I probably would have gone into the end zone. Instead, we end up throwing a pick. And now we give them a chance to take a little bit of momentum before they go into half. But Pettinato has something to say about that as he gets the sack right there. And we're not done yet. One pick, oh well. I really got to work on my passing though, because Derek Reynolds, I'm screwing up his Heisman hopes by throwing picks left and right. I think he's had 4 picks this year so far in 5 games. But they try and scramble again, and this time Albert Smith, the freshman corner, gets like they just said, his first sack of his career. He's back-to-back weeks he's had first. And actually right here, I guarantee they run the ball. Yep, they run the ball. And Romero gets them. And I'm going to call a timeout even though I think he went out of bounds. I don't want to take the chance. I want us to get a touchdown here. I want us to go in the half up 35-3 on Colorado. I want to make sure our guys have a career day today. And right here, Richards. I think Richards is called on the fact that I want a career day. That's right here. He jukes that guy out. He's trying to get the corner, and he gets grabbed at the ankles. And as you see, we've been balanced on offense pretty well. 10 rush plays, 8 pass plays. That's actually one of the better jobs I've done all year, remaining balanced. And right here, as you do see, they are kind of backing off a little bit. Probably because they've looked at the clock. Probably because they know that will happen if they do back off. And they decided why they left Richards, I won't know. Byers running backwards too. I think that was one of the best things that's happened for Derek Reynolds was throwing that ball with terrible form. Because a little bit more on that ball, it's probably incomplete. And right here, Richards gets the ball again, and he keeps and bounce. And right here, we are just rolling on this drive, as we are also having another thing going on today. Our best game passing in this year. So we're having a lot of best today, and James Bailey gets a touchdown, as there's a decent sized gap right there for Derek Reynolds to fit it into. Well, he fit it right perfectly in there. James Bailey catches it, and I think that's his second touchdown of the year. And we go up 35-3 in the first half. It's already looking like a halftime score. Gosh dang it. They beat us deep right here, and as you see, I tried to use it with Tevis, tried to get a user pick, and, well, the second I realized I wasn't going to get it, I decided I'd dive a little bit soon, that way we could get him right as he caught the ball, hoping that he would drop it. That didn't work. And Colorado makes it a 10-35 game going into half. Still a pretty good lead for us, as we're up by 25. But still, I'd love to be up a lot more, and I saw that guy coming off the corner. I was hoping somebody would get a block on him, but nobody did. And hey, they're telling me not to put up another touchdown. I want to put up one more touchdown before half. I think we have it in us. I think our team can easily do it. If anybody can do it, we can. And right here, Kadeem Carey. I know short passes don't do it, but that was good enough for me right there. As we are going to run flanker dig, deep pass. Come on, don't burn clock here. It's right here. Oh, they leave James Bailey open over the middle. Big mistake. You never leave anybody open over the middle. They are doing a terrible job defensively today against these deep passes. And that has been our bread and butter, has been deep passes on this drive. This last hope drive, right here, we're going to... Yep. I do immediately... Oh, what do we do? How far of a field goal is this? I gotta see how far of a field goal it is. 43 yards. Nope. He's not good enough to make that. Let's see. What other plays are there? I don't want to run a Hail Mary, because that play almost never works, and especially when we're this close. And right here, Hill, first catch of the day is a touchdown right before half. And we get 250 yards passing. First time we've gotten 250 yards passing all season long. And we get it in the first half. Once again, everybody's having a career day today out there. And we're one touchdown away from having almost the final score of our game against Baylor. And it's in the first half still. My God. Derek Reynolds just torched their whole defense on a read option. And you will see it right here. This was one of the best plays in this as we start off the second half. First play in the second half is Derek Reynolds, and you look, and it's just him. Once he beat that one guy in the corner, it was just pure touch. You knew it was a touchdown. He has too much speed for them to catch him, and we go up 49-10, and you are seeing more and more why we deserve to be number 5. I've said this before. We deserve to be 5. We're better than the current 5, the current 4, the current 3, the current 2, and the current 1. We're better than everybody right now, because we found how to play defense. Second, our defense got rolling. Some of these games would be a lot closer had our defense not started rolling when they did. They started rolling against that Baylor team, and it hasn't been pretty. And oh, how did he catch that? Oh, that was so much luck right there that he caught that ball. We're just trying to keep them from getting big yards. Amazing return of 90 yards. Kind of disappointed that it didn't really result in anything. I mean, it did result in us getting the ball here. But I wish it would have. I wish Richards would have scored that, because that was his play to score right there. And right here, so they are waiting for Kadeem Carey to get the ball. It doesn't matter if you're waiting for him or not. He's still going to destroy you on the ground. And like they said, yeah, it's game over. This game's been over for a while. But Kadeem Carey, he's trying to get a career day today. I mean, he could still, based on how he did in that first quarter, he could still get 200 yards rushing today. And he has 5 touchdowns today, all on the ground, and that's amazing. 5 rushing touchdowns today for Kadeem Carey. I think he just put himself back in the Heisman race. And I think Derek Reynolds did too, because Derek Reynolds had his best day passing the ball so far. So he made his stats look a lot better today. And also our defense, man, we are looking better every single week defensively. The whole team improves every single week as a whole. I love it. Dang it! They score a touchdown here, and it pisses me off. The fact that they are scoring touchdowns, and that drive, they destroyed our defense. They made us look like the defense we've been all year. And I think I'm starting to realize the problem with our defense. And it's late in the game. We're up by a lot. So what do we not want to do? We don't want to play good, solid defense. And that's the second time this year. Third time this year. 3 times the other team has gotten the onside recovery. Now tell me, what's wrong with that stat? Last year, what was the final score of that USC game? 17-14. How much would USC have paid for one more possession? I know we just got the pick, but I'm still pissed off about the fact that if next week, Washington, that's probably going to be one heck of a game. How much are they going to pay for one more possession? How much is Oregon going to pay for one more possession? How much would USC pay for another possession? You look at it, all these teams, one more possession, difference in the game, really. And in the last 3 or 4 games, we've given up one more possession 2 or 3 times on onside kicks. I mean, these are ones we should be able to get. We should not be getting beat on onside kicks. We should not be losing those. Those should be easy. Hey, look, guys, onside kick. Okay, good. We're gonna get the ball. Now, oh, great, an onside kick. I hope we don't lose it. Instead, that's what it's become with this team. And as you see right here, we're just trying to end the game We're trying to end the game by running the clock off. But if they're gonna blitz us, I'm sorry, but if you're gonna sit here and you're gonna guess in the backfield, I will end up throwing the ball. Trust me, I have no problem throwing the ball and padding Reynolds' stats. I have no problem doing that. I don't care if we're in the same conference or not. I'm not going to risk. Yeah, as you see right here, even on a choose a play, it says it. Go ahead, you might as well. And Cormier's in too, so it's not like we could have really had a chance if we would have had Cormier, because he hasn't had a lot of big runs this year. He's a freshman. I don't expect him to get a lot of huge runs. Right there, he did just what we needed him to do, which was catch the ball and get the first down. And here he is. He has a chance to prove me wrong. That he's truly could become not Derek Reynolds, but Kadeem Carey next year. And right there, he gets a 9-yard run and makes it 62-20. By far the best game we've had in this series. Kadeem Carey having the best game of his career with 150-some yards rushing. Still a chance to get more. Albert Smith gets back-to-back games with a pick. We have back-to-back game. In 2 games, we have 4 picks. That's the best we've ever done. so many things that we've done better than we ever have before. Today, we've done a lot of it has been today. If there's a record to be broken, this week or last week was the week to break it, defensively at least. If series best will probably be set this week, we've done an amazing job getting to the quarterback. Season best are by far. This is where if you're going to set a season best this year and you want to prove that you're good enough to start, right here, Albert Smith is starting to prove to me. Starting off this year, I didn't know how many picks that we were actually going to get, but we ended up not getting a lot. Right here, sorry, I had to go take care of something real quick. It's 3rd and 20 with 30 seconds left. I feel kind of bad because we just ruined Colorado's season. Right here, so we're going to go in man coverage. I don't want to allow anything big, and right there, they throw the ball, and that ends it. And this game's been over for a while, but that puts the icing on the cake. But I do want to see if we can get 70. So we are going to be running a little bit of a 18-second drill here. Let's see what type of field position Richards can get us. Richards gets us across the 50. Right at the 50, actually. So 8 seconds. We have to go 50 yards in 8 seconds. Right here, as you see, we're going deep, and oh no, they try and get Derrick Reynolds, and he gets out of bounds too. So we're kind of practicing for future weeks in case it's a tight game. Getting out of bounds, running a late game drill, stuff like that. And Colorado's kind of becoming like a practice out here. And oh, almost a pick, but we were screwing around, to be honest. As we finish the slaughter of Colorado, and as you see, 245 yards for Kadeem Carey, 5 touchdowns. I mean, yeah. He's proven himself good enough to be not a Heisman candidate, but the Heisman candidate. As in the guy that will win the Heisman. I feel if anybody's going to win the Heisman, it will be him. Some big stories here, as you see. 20th ranked Auburn go down, 19th ranked Notre Dame go down too. Game stats. Player of the game does go to Kadeem Carey. He had 154 yards, it says here, but oh well, who knows what where they messed up on the other one. But I think the other one said 200 something. He ends with 154 yards on the ground and 91 yards through the air. Best game of his career and best game of my career coaching here at Arizona. And it's been Unknown Gamer. I'll see you next time. Like, comment, and subscribe.